Welcome to my channel. If you're watching this is just going to be a little introduction to who I am and what this is going to be about. This is going to be a channel where I post concepts I'm trying to comprehend, discussions I'm having with myself, existential crises that I'm facing, mostly music, in all of those things. I find music, and especially the business behind music. I want to give some insight into that business, the music business. I like to feel like I was a part of the music business for a couple years. I've been making music for over a decade now. And I left. I stopped. I gave up for a while, and I'm back now. I've been making music again for a while, but mostly in private, and so now I feel it's finally time to kind of open my wings back up and get back out there, start anew, start fresh, get new, fresh sets of ears, get new minds, meet new people, and I feel like this is the place to do that. YouTube has always been a dream, and I wanna see what I can find on here. See what I can do. See what I can make. See what kind of cool info and insight I can provide. See how I can help people. And okay, so who am I? Right? I'm just some dude talking in a fucking mask, looking like fucking dumbass kick-ass. Well, there's a reason I masked. I left the my music career, maybe a year or two ago, to pursue a more stable 9 to 5 job. I'm a computer guy. I was working in IT before I found success in music and was able to leave my job. But after, several years on the grind and the hustle, it's enticing to go back to something stable. And I'm still there right now. I'm still in a stable place. But I like chaos. I like to try and change up my situation. I like to make art. I love to make music. And I gave up on it because I couldn't do it. It was a lot of work. I was working at the studio, where I started there kind of just as a producer and a video guy, because those are my main two focuses in life is production and videography. And I was doing that at the studio, and then I got into an engineer position as well. So I was recording artists and working with them, etc. And I got to a point where I just completely stopped producing my own music, making beats or even making songs with my friends or anything like that. I just stopped because I was so focused on making other people's music. And I think that was part of why I got discouraged, because while I made some incredible music and worked with incredible talents, I never really got momentum behind my own things. I never made I stopped making my own stuff, to focus on others. And there's always a time to be selfish and think about yourself. And at some point in time, I decided I had to actually make real money again and went back to the tech stuff. And so here I am on my knees, returning to music and seeing what will happen. And what I'm working on right now, for the last year, I've released a song. Well, I guess since the beginning of this year, 2024, I released a song every Tuesday under the name Zaphod Black. And I've had this name for a while as a producer tag, and I released quite a bit under it before. But I let the name die, and over a couple years while I was working at the studio. And then this New Year's, it was kind of my New Year's resolution, right? To just to set up a track every week to be released, because I was like, I had been producing like crazy. I was really locked in, and I had made about 9 hours worth of instrumentals that were just sitting on a flash drive, not doing anything. And so I was like, I'm going to choose 52 of my favorites of these and set them up to post every Tuesday. Just see what happens. No promo, no ads, no nothing. And we're in July now, and I went from no monthly listeners on Spotify to 1,300. And that was really encouraging to see that response, to see people interacting with my stuff again, and see things happening. And so I decided that I was going to do more. This next year, I need to continue with that momentum and do more and pursue my own stuff and show myself on here and interact with people and give insight into what I'm doing. And and so that's where I'm at. I want to document the process of growing my social medias and all of that as well, because while I grew pretty significantly in the last several months due to the just consistent posting of music, I have a feeling that if I were to start over on a completely fresh Spotify account, and from day one be posting very consistently, like once a week, and maybe even doing some promo, some advertising, some conversion campaigns, some Facebook ads, stuff like that, maybe it would receive a lot more attention right out the gate and pick up in the Spotify algorithm better. And under my alias of Zaphod Black, I mostly post like lo-fi R&B beats, pop shit, just chill instrumentals, sometimes vocal samples. Here and there I'll post things or link to things that I produced for people. But I make all kinds of music, and a lot of it sits in the vault because it doesn't fit into my aesthetic of what I see for for Zaphod, for me. So I'm going to come up with another alias. I actually already have, but I'm going to be posting on this name more like electronic club rave type music once a week, in parallel to setting up another year's worth of posting under my original alias. And so I'm going to try to do that and make social medias and promote for my new alias alongside of my current releases, and see what happens. And I'm going to document the process, and I'm going to talk about how I make my ads. I'm going to talk about how I make the content for Instagram and TikTok, and I'm going to go through the whole process, and we're all going to do it together. And I might even break down a little bit of how I make my music. I might break down a little bit of how we record, how I engineer things, how I mix and master, because you can do it all yourself. Okay, this is what I really learned at the recording studio. They had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, right? But they only really needed like 3 or 4 key pieces to record things well and get a cool sound, right? And those things were like a nice computer, right? Or a nice-ish computer, something that can run your DAW without fucking lagging, okay? A solid interface, and yeah, maybe a Scarlett, but I'm talking even something better than that. Like maybe like a UAD Volt, or what I use is a UAD Solo, Apollo Solo. We use twins at the studio, but a Solo is just as good, and you get you a little interface, you get you any type of mic, honestly, and you'll be good to go. Maybe you'll be in for like $500, maybe $1,000, but if you can get that money together, that money that you would have fucking spent at the studio, spent waiting on your mixes, spent fucking trying to brainstorm things in the studio, when instead you could be in your house, you could be sitting there at the computer, you could be ready there with an idea. I want to help people get to that point where instead of being like, oh, I have this excuse of why I can't make music, I have this excuse of why I can't record my songs, I'm waiting on going to the studio, oh, I need this new MIDI keyboard to make beats, whatever. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make everything as easily as we can and as cheaply as we can, and I'm gonna show that process. it's gonna be a good time. And yeah, that's the channel. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be making some PowerPoints too. If you're a fan of PowerPoints, I'm a fan of PowerPoints. We're gonna make some cool stuff happen. We're gonna talk about some concepts. We're gonna have people comprehending things that before they may have never comprehended. So that's it. I'm gonna sign off here. And if anyone's watching this, I really thank you, and I really appreciate it. And we'll be back for more.